So recently a piece of news has come out that may have a lot of you excited. It was recently announced by publisher Athlon Games that they've formed a licensing partnership with Middle-earth Enterprises, the people that own the rights to Lord of the Rings, to create a quote, multi-year online game based on the Lord of the Rings. The press release given by Athlon Games' parent company Leyou reads as follows. Athlon will apply its live services expertise and top Western development to create an engrossing new AAA experience for one of the world's most powerful IPs. Today, Athlon Games, a global publisher of console and PC games, announced it signed a long-term licensing agreement with Middle-earth Enterprises to develop and publish a video game based on the Lord of the Rings. Athlon Games is working with a partner developer to create an online game set in the world of Middle-earth at a time long before the events of Lord of the Rings, exploring lands, people, and creatures never seen before by fans of the Tolkien universe. It's a singular opportunity to work closely with Middle-earth Enterprises to create a completely new experience for fans of the landmark fantasy world of J.R.R. Tolkien, and we're excited about the resurgence of interest in the Lord of the Rings IP. This, along with several other major properties Athlon's working with, will help us to further our goal of creating AAA cooperative console and PC experiences that gamers will want to play for many years to come. We're extremely pleased to work with Athlon Games to create a new immersive game experience, exploring epic regions in Middle-earth during the years leading to the events of Lord of the Rings. Athlon's game will allow millions of Middle-earth fans throughout the world a unique opportunity for fellowship and epic exploration. We believe in Athlon's game's model to collaborate closely with Western developers to implement incredibly successful live services, whilst also giving its partners the autonomy they need to develop outstanding game experiences. At Leyou, we've seen great success implementing this strategy with other titles such as Warframe. Now we can expand our footprint in the West with Athlon Games. So after reading this press release, this is what we know so far in short. This Lord of the Rings game will be a free-to-play multiplayer game set long before the events of the Lord of the Rings that will use the games as a service business model. Other than that, there's really not much else we actually know. The scale of the multiplayer this game will have isn't specified, but it hints to being an MMO when they say millions of fans throughout the world, a unique opportunity for fellowship and epic exploration, which also suggests there'll be some kind of cooperative aspect. That being said, it's entirely possible that this game will be some kind of instanced MMO-Lite similar to Warframe. We also don't know if the game will be top-down, first-person or third-person, however my assumption would be the latter two are more likely due to them talking about creating an immersive game experience. I wouldn't really describe the top-down perspective as being overly immersive. Something else we also don't know yet is what developer will actually be making this game yet, although it is possible that this game's already being worked on by one of the dev studios that Leyou currently owns. If you didn't know already, Leyou is a video games holding company from China, which basically means they invest in and own shares in multiple dev studios. Interestingly, this company initially started out as a chicken supplier. Athlon Games is basically their video game publishing arm, which launched in May 2018 and is based in California. From what I can tell though, they haven't published any games yet. Currently, Leyou owns 58% of Digital Extremes, the devs responsible for Warframe. They own the entirety of Splash Damage, who made the multiplayer parts for Gears of War and developed the free-to-play shooter Dirty Bomb. And they also have a 20% share capital in US-based game dev Certain Affinity after investing $10 million in 2017 for them to create an unannounced original game. Could this perhaps be for the new Lord of the Rings game that was announced? It's possible, but given that this dev has mostly only worked on the multiplayer aspects of shooters such as Call of Duty, Halo and Doom, I'd say it's somewhat unlikely. But what we do know is that regardless of which developer is chosen to make this new Lord of the Rings game, they're going to be very well funded indeed. My personal thoughts on this announcement is that I think with the setting of this game being long before the events of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, this makes for the perfect chance to create a more sandboxy MMO experience than what the Lord of the Rings Online offered. I'd love it if this game allows us to feel like we can carve our own little piece of Middle-earth for ourselves and feel like our characters actually live there. Given the history of games that Leyou have decided to invest in, I think there's a good chance that this game will have a somewhat fair free-to-play model, possibly along the lines of what Warframe has, where you can grind out most of the things in-game, but you also have the option to pay to skip, and of course cosmetics on the cash shop also. Obviously things are still very early for this game, and it's possible we won't even see it before 2025, but regardless, it's always good news when a potentially new AAA MMORPG MMORPG gets announced, especially one based on such a beloved IP, especially considering the current state of the genre. But that's it for this video, guys. As we don't know too much about this game, I'd love to hear what you hope this game will actually turn out to be. What would you want to see in a new Lord of the Rings MMO? And as always, if you want to chat or discuss MMOs, online games, or gaming tech, then feel free to join my Discord linked in the description below. Thanks for watching, I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you again really soon.